All right. Hey everybody, it's GrimmGreen from GrimmGreen.com. Back here today, hanging out in the vape lair, doing what I do. Thank you so much for joining me again. Of course, I want to give a very warm welcome to my new subscribers. Do hope you find what you're looking for. But what I got to talk to you about today is this. This mod right here, it's weird. It's just a weird mod. This came to me from Vapor Alley. This is the E LVT. This is the E LVT, which is clearly the weirdest name in the history of mods, of mod making. I don't get it. I don't know why it's called the E LVT. It's hard to pronounce. E LVT, I guess, would be the way to pronounce it. I much prefer saying E LVT. But yeah, you can't quite get on the other side. It says Dovpo. Dovpo? There you go. You can't really gauge the weight of this. It is a heavy, heavy mother trucker. On the top, it's got a Inokin style ring. There's airflow holes in here in the event that you're using like a Kanger Pro tank or a Carto tank or something that requires airflow from the bottom. It won't be blocked off. There's holes in these. Typical Ego style top cap. This is a very, very firm and steady, sturdy on here. It feels like a very sturdy device. I would have liked to have seen this been a recessed 510 rather than having this extra thing on here. It just makes it feel much longer than it is. Fits in your hand really nice. It's sort of, let's see if you can see this. It's kind of bulgy. Do you see how it's bulgy? It's bulgy, and it fits in your hand really, really well. It feels really, really sturdy. So taking a look at this side, it has the, this, do you see the green indicator? Yes, that means that it's firing. And what is it firing at? I have no idea. 13.5 watts. So you can switch it back from wattage to voltage by pressing the power and the minus or the power and the plus. So if I press the power and the minus at the same time, goes back to volts. That UO means volts. So now it's set to 4.9 volts, 4.8, 4.7, and I can set it up to 6 volts. And then it kicks back down to 3. But we're not going to do that. We're going to set it back to wattage. So you hold the fire button and the up, and it says PO, which means power, which means wattage. So now we can adjust the wattage up and down. Turn it on and off with this as usual. Off gives you a little light show. Turn it back on, gives you a little light show, and now it's on and firing. On this side, this is where the USB out is. So there's this little tiny hole, and you dig your fingernail in there, and you peel this back, and you have a USB in if you want to charge the battery that's inside of it. You have a USB out, and you have an on-off, whether that USB out is working or not. So sure, charge your iPhone, charge whatever you want. Charge something with a USB. Run a pass-through off of this. I don't know. That doesn't make much sense. But I've just been leaving it off. I haven't utilized the USB out yet because this in and of itself is kind of this weird flimsy sort of thing, and when you put it back on, you have to get it all right back into the correct nooks and crannies so that it'll stay and so that it'll sit flush. This is all rubberized and this is all metal. This is all hard metal. And you're kind of wondering, well, where's the battery? So there's this little Allen key right here, and you unscrew this. Every time you want to change the battery, this is how you do it. You unscrew this, you have a little screw. Then this whole thing comes off. And look at that, you have an 18650 on the inside, and it's even labeled plus and minus. And this is metal. Everything is metal. The inside, metal. This cap, this cover, metal. It's rubberized and it's metal. Let me put this 18650 back in here. Minus side goes minus, plus side goes plus. Put it back in. It'll let you know that it's on. So we're gonna put this back on. There's little nubbins on this side to hold it in place. Push that back down. Put your screw here, and you screw it back down. Couldn't be easier. Could be easier, actually. I don't know if I would charge an 18650 through the USB in. I would just take this battery out and charge it in, like, you know, your IntelliCharger. I feel better charging an 18650 not on the USB, but yes, inside the IntelliCharger. So yeah, that's kind of all you got. You turn it on, you adjust the wattage, you adjust the voltage. It doesn't show you your ohms, but what it does do is if you plug on something that's too low, so this switch has a 5 amp limit, which isn't a whole lot, so it's not going to run sub-ohm coils. So if I put this 0.7 ohm rebuildable atomizer on here and I try to press fire, it tells me the ohms of it, 0.7, but it won't fire. That's the only way I've ever seen ohms. If I plug my Kayfun Mini back on here, which is how I've been using it, it doesn't tell me anything. It just fires. Yeah, it just fires. It won't tell me the ohms of this. Even if you press these together, all that does is lock the voltage up or down, or lock the wattage up or down. It won't tell you the ohms unless it's too low of an ohms. So yeah, it's not going to read your ohms, but that's the E LVT up close and personal. Let's get back out to normal view here. Performing rather nice with my little Kayfun Mini on there, and even though this is the Kayfun Mini, it's tall. Because of this extra little portion here, it makes it tall. It makes it taller than it should be. Like I said in the uppy closey, I would like to see this recessed down and then just having the atomizer kind of on top of this body. I've always been a huge fan of box mods, and this is kind of like, it's kind of a box mod, but it's kind of a weird roundy ovally mod. It does stand up on its own. If you're careful, I'm gonna sneeze. If you're careful, it'll stand up on its own. You can't just kind of set it down without looking because it'll fall over, but it does have these kind of rubber feet on the bottom and it will stand up. And no, you weren't seeing things. That's a flashlight on the bottom that you can turn on. Yeah, just a flashlight on the bottom of your mod for some reason. If you want to... Hi. If you want a flashlight on the bottom of your mod, you just hold down the minus button and it'll turn the flashlight on, and then it'll turn the flashlight off. It's variable wattage, it's variable voltage up to 6 volts. It's got a rubbery, also clicky button, and it'll tell you the voltage or wattage that you're vaping at. This says locked right now, so when you put in a new battery, it'll lock everything. So you have to hold the up and down buttons for a while. Oh, there's my ohms. It showed me my ohms. I thought it didn't do that. And now you can now it's unlocked. It shows you your ohms. I'm an idiot. You hold the up down buttons. Yes, 1.5 ohms. That is showing me my ohms now. I was mistaken. It does, in fact, show you the ohms. Like I said, it's got a rubbery and clicky button. It's got a decent performance, but it's got a 5 amp limit on the switch, meaning no sub-ohm coils on this. But if you have a rebuildable atomizer, you can build a rebuildable atomizer up to, like, you know, do the math, figure out. Let's do the math. I got time. Let's make this a long video. Let's head over to VapeCalc. Vapecalc.com. Got it bookmarked, basically. So if you want 1 ohm, nope, that's not going to do it. You need like 1.5. No, let's show you 1.2 ohms. Nope, you're not going to get it. You're not gonna get it. You're gonna have to build this to, like, let's say I have my Kayfun right now at 1.5 ohms. Nope, this does have a 5 amp limit on the switch. Well, that makes much more sense. Let's adjust the wattage to 15 watts, and I don't think it's going to give me that though. 1.5 ohm, 15 watts should be giving me about 5 volts. 5 volts. Yes, that is well. So I have this set to. Why am I doing this right now? Why did I decide to do this right now? That's terrible. Okay, so I have a 1.5 ohm coil. It's set to 15 watts, so it's giving me 4.8 volts at 3.2 amps. So if you want to build like a 1 ohm coil and rock it at 4 volts, oh, that's just coming in just under the hair. If you put a 1 ohm coil on this, you can fire it at 4 volts, which is 16 watts, and it'll still be under the amp limit of the switch. So you can build a 1 ohm coil on here, and it will fire and give you the full wattage. You just can't go sub-ohm. Like I showed in the uppy closey, if you put this 0.7 ohm coil on here, it'll just show you the ohms, and it won't fire it. I'm so torn on whether or not I even like this device. It's comfortable. It's very comfortable in the hand to hold. It's got this weird, it's not really weird. It's kind of standard. This little airflow top cap ring, and then the ego connection underneath it. And this won't fit around my drip tip. Ego connection underneath it. So you could rock a Pro Tank on here. You could rock a Clearomizer on here. You could rock a Kayfun on here. You could rock a Kayfun Mini on here like I've been doing. And it's nice. The marketing behind this device is that it's going to be rugged and waterproof and blah 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 and this, that, and the other. Like I watched a video on YouTube where a guy put it under the windshield wiper of his car and then went through the car wash and then pulled it off afterwards and was like, hey man, it still vapes, it's so rugged. But yeah, it's rugged, except that you have this big atomizer on top. So if I just threw this on the ground, chances are it would bend this connection. It would probably ruin my mini Kayfun, but the mod itself would be very durable. Should I take this off and just drop it? Sorry, Jam. Now I have to go get it. It's all metal, it's all heavy, it's all weighty, it's all rubberized, so it's very grippy. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip out of your hand ever. I'm very torn on it. What it's going to come down to is the price. So this came from Vapor Alley, and the price is $89. So $18,650, variable voltage, variable wattage. You could rock a 1 ohm coil on it. You could rock Pro tanks, Carto tanks, Aero tanks, Aspire Nautiluses, Nautili on them. You're going to need your vape budget hands. If you want something that's super rugged, super durable, and will give you, good battery life and basically the power you need. I mean, it's not a DNA 30, but it's still highly decent. Then the E LVT or E LVT might be something for you. But that's what I got. I'm gonna wrap this up. It's the E LVT. It is what it is. It's rugged. It's got a clicky button. It's got a decent amount of power, and it fits nicely in your hand. It's just kind of an awkward shape and size, and it's called the E LVT. I don't know. They could have just called it like the Python or the Pizza Baron, and then it would have been fine. But I'll put a link in the description to Vapor Alley where you can pick one of these up. They are currently in stock, and they also come in blue. That's what I got for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and as always, let's keep on vaping.